It's week 44 of a year of wisdom. Let's get to reading. Day 306. Job 2. Again the day came when the sons of God came to present themselves before Adonai. And the Satan also arrived among them to present himself before Adonai. Adonai said to him, "Where are you coming from?" The Satan answered Adonai, "From roaming the earth and walking in it." Then Adonai said to the Satan, "Have you noticed my servant Job? For there is no one like him on earth, a blameless and upright man, who fears God and spurns evil, and he still holds firmly to his integrity, though you incited me against him, to ruin him without any reason." The Satan replied to Adonai, saying, "Skin for skin. A man will give up all he has for his own life. But now stretch out your hand and strike his bone and flesh, and he will certainly curse you to your face." Adonai said to the Satan, "Very well. He is in your hand. Only spare his life." So the Satan departed from the presence of Adonai and afflicted Job with painful boils from the sole of his foot to the top of his head. He took a piece of broken pottery to scrape himself while he was sitting among the ashes. Then his wife said to him, "Are you still holding firmly to your integrity? Curse God and die." He said to her, "You speak as any foolish woman would speak. Should we accept the good from God and not accept the bad?" Through this, Job did not sin with his lips. When Job's 3 friends heard about all this calamity that had come upon him, each of them came from his own place: Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite. They met together to come and mourn with him and to comfort him. But when they saw him from a distance, they did not recognize him, and they raised their voices and wept. Each one tore his robe and threw dust into the air onto their heads. They sat with him on the ground for 7 days and 7 nights. No one spoke a word to him, because they saw that his pain was very great. Proverbs 2. My son, if you accept my words and treasure my mitzvot within you, making your ear attentive to wisdom, inclining your heart to discernment, yes, if you will call out for insight, lifting up your voice for discernment, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will know the fear of Adonai and discover the knowledge of God. For Adonai gives wisdom. Out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He's a shield to those who walk in integrity. He guards the paths of justice and protects the way of his kedoshim. Then you will discern what is right and just and fair, every good path. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will watch over you. Discernment will guard you, to deliver you from the way of evil, from those speaking perverse things, who leave the straight paths to walk in ways of darkness, who rejoice in wrongdoing and delight in the perversity of evil, whose paths are crooked and are devious in their ways, to deliver you from a seducing woman, a wayward wife with seductive words, who forsakes the partner of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house sinks down to death, and her tracks to dead. None who go to her return, nor reach the paths of life. So you will walk in the way of good men, and keep to the paths of the righteous. For the upright will dwell in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the treacherous uprooted from it. Ecclesiastes 2. I said within myself, "Come now, I will test you with pleasure to see what is good. Yet behold, this too is meaningless." I said of laughter, "It is madness," and of pleasure, "What does it accomplish?" I thought deeply about how to cheer my flesh with wine, letting my heart guide me with wisdom, and how to grasp folly so that I could see what was worthwhile for the sons of men to do under heaven during the few days of their lives. I increased my possessions, I built myself houses, and I planted myself vineyards. I made royal gardens and parks for myself and planted all kinds of fruit trees within them. I constructed for myself pools of water to irrigate a forest of flourishing trees. I purchased male and female servants and had other servants who were born in my house. I also owned more herds and flocks than all my predecessors in Jerusalem. I also amassed silver and gold for myself, as well as the treasure of kings and the provinces. I acquired male and female singers for myself, as well as the luxuries of humankind, vaults and vaults of them. So I became far wealthier than all before me in Jerusalem, yet my wisdom stayed with me. I denied myself nothing that my eyes desired. I withheld from my heart no enjoyment. My heart took delight from all my toil. This was my reward for all my labor. Yet when I considered all that my hands had done and the toil I had expended to accomplish it, behold, it was all futile in chasing after the wind. There was nothing to be gained under the sun. Then I turned to consider wisdom, madness, and folly. For what more can the one who succeeds the king do than what he's already done? I realized that wisdom is more beneficial than folly, as light is better than darkness. A wise man has his eyes in his head, while the fool walks in the darkness. Yet I also came to realize that the same destiny befalls them both. Then I said in my heart, even I will have the same destiny as a fool. So why have I become so wise? I said in my heart, this too is meaningless. For the wise man, together with the fool, is not remembered forever. For in the days to come, both will be forgotten. Alas, the wise, just like the fool, must die. And so I hated life, because the work done under the sun was grievous to me. All is but vapor and chasing after the wind. I also hated all the fruit of my toil for which I had labored under the sun, because I must leave it to the one who comes after me. Who knows if he will be wise or a fool? Yet he will be master over all the fruit of my toil for which I had wisely labored under the sun. This too is futile. So I turned my heart over to despair over all the things for which I had toiled for under the sun. For sometimes a man who has labored with wisdom, knowledge, and skill must hand over as an inheritance to someone who did not work for it. This also is futile and a great misfortune. For what does a man get for all his toil and longing of his heart for which he labors under the sun? For all his days, his work is pain and grief. Even at night, his mind does not rest. This also is futility. There is nothing better for people than to eat and drink and to find enjoyment in their labor. This too, I perceived, is from the hand of God. For who can eat and who can have joy apart from him? For to the one who pleases him, he gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy. But to the sinner, he gives the task of gathering and accumulating wealth to give it to one who pleases God. This also is only a vapor and striving after wind. And as always, thank you so much for being here today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right there and click the bell if you want notifications. And make sure to hit that like button for me as well. And I will see you tomorrow. Maranatha.
I know without a doubt you'll carry me out of the storm. I'm standing at the crossroads. I'm lost without a clue. I need a big pink neon sign to show me what to do. I thank you, Lord. It glorifies you when you're the only answer. I praise you, Lord, for holding what's too much for me. And I'm amazed by you, Lord, because nothing's too big and nothing's too small to lay at your feet.